All right. Welcome. Hey, today we're going to talk about the full moon in Leo. I'm Shane. This is daily-astrocat.com. This is my week that I'm going to call the astrological oddities and events. We're going to talk about the full moon in Leo. And actually, I want to change that because it's going to be astrological oddities and occurrences. Sounds better, right? It's for the week of February 19th through the 15th. Let's get right into it, okay? So, what we're talking about here is we're talking about the moon's going to be full. It's going to be full on Wednesday this week, and that's going to be on the 12th. The full moon tribe, you know who you guys are. Maybe you don't. We've got to work on that, right? Full moon tribe, you're going to be celebrating, right? These are about culminations, right? The moon in Leo is about stepping out from behind the curtain. Or is it? We want to show the whole world who we are this week, and some of us may do that for better or worse. Now, we do have to show something. We have to show some of the work, right? That was my new moon in Aquarius intention, and that's what culminates with this moon in Leo. What was yours? With that being said, this is the last time we're going to visit this. We're going to talk about the year of the snake. This is the year of the snake in Chinese astrology. It's a year of growth, wisdom, transformation, intuition, mystery, and introspection. Okay? Last time we're going to see that. Just keep that in mind. It's a snake year. That's why we're going to be going through some growth. That's why we're going to be feeling some of that pain, that skin's going to shed, right? We're going to shed that skin so we can just rise up to the next level. It's all about that mystery. It's all about that transformation. This week features a lunation, the full moon in Leo on Wednesday of the 12th, and Mercury ingresses into the sign of Pisces on Valentine's Day. That's February 14th. Both words, lunation and ingress, are words that astrologers love. Love. Oh, love. Now, this week begins with the moon in Cancer, where she comes into contact with Mars. Mars is 1 week away from stationing direct. Now, that is slowing down, standing still, and slowly reversing direction. That is more words that astrologers love. The full moon in Leo finds us ready. We're going to take the stage this week in a very techie way. We've learned more methods, added them to our process, and we're beginning to use things to a greater effect. Yes, use these things, this computer, the way I do these videos, changed. That's part of it, right? And that adds to some Leo star power. Look, the micro successes we experience are incremental and they're cumulative. Expect many more. The precise thinking that went into all of this gets thrown out the window when Mercury enters Pisces, however, on the 14th. Now it's the time for the technician to make way for the artist, the poet, and the dreamer. Our first aspect we have is Sun conjunct Mercury. Now, here we have a chart. This is my chart. I have the Sun and Mercury. You can see them. They are together on the lower left-hand side. Ignore the clock face because we're not going to talk about that. What we do want to talk about, though, is we do want to talk about our little C up at the top. That's Black Moon Lilith. That's the position that my program gives it. Lilith is at independence and desire, and she is trine the planets that are in Aquarius. Another sign of fierce independence. Not so much desire, but wanting to do the right thing, right? Lilith is all about, not taking orders, not doing it. And she's in Libra. So we're starting to come to some sort of agreement as far as what we're going to want to do, how we're going to respond to various challenges that we have. Now, let's talk about this. Sometimes we need to keep to ourselves, and yet there are other times where we feel like we need to be heard. This is a Sun-Mercury conjunct moment. The words we choose to use have extra weight and meaning. The momentary nature of this, we're not going to feel like doing this forever, is due to the speed of Mercury. Sunday, that's when this happens. It's an excellent day for getting our point across to the world, right? Yeah, we're going to be talking about it. Look, it's still going to be somewhat muted, right? The full moon on Wednesday will amplify this viewpoint. This is mostly for people with side hustles and stuff like that. Personally, I got to tell you something. We are what we say today. That bad Super Bowl behavior you just witnessed? Guys like that all the time. That's the real McCoy. Now, our next aspect is Mars Trine Sun. The Mars. No. Almost sounds like it's a rapper. The Mars Trine Sun. Okay. Hey, give me some Mars. Give me a Mars beat. Oh, check this out. And it's not the sun, it's Saturn. Look, there's a little planet. You can see one of the moons in front of Saturn. Okay, cool. Little diversion there. Maybe. Might keep it, might not. Okay, so this is for the 9th, which is also on Sunday. Mars is trine Saturn. So also on the 9th at 8:15 in the morning, we're going to have Mars trine Saturn. Now, Mars trine Saturn, this is going to be a powerful combination. This is this happened before. We're going to go over that. But you can see I've got 2 other dates on there. That's when the moon is actually trine Saturn and then conjunct with Mars, okay? So we've got 2 different times there. You can see how it's further on in the afternoon when that happens. The moon is going to take a little bit of time to catch up, and that's what's going to be going on. So we're going to have the moon trine both of those 2. Saturn is at almost, Saturn in Pisces has given us certainly a vibe. So let's just go into this, okay? The moon trine Saturn last occurred on September 29th of 2024. This trine caused me to look ahead and lay out the Mars retrograde in Cancer. Yeah, back in September. That's pretty unusual for me because I just happened to see it and I was like, I know Mars is going retrograde, so what are we going to do? Because I know that this is going to be a very long once, twice, thrice, okay? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. It's once, twice, thrice. Now, think about it. The first time it happened was the 29th. What was going on in your life on the 29th? Well, it caused me to look at all this stuff and to really take a long, hard look at it, because it's a long cycle. And Saturn is very helpful when it comes to Mars. With respect to Mars, it's very helpful. Mars is actually exalted in the sign of Capricorn. That limitation focuses the energy of Mars and just makes it so that it gets stuff done rather than starting stuff and not finishing or doing something and then going, oh, look, shiny squirrel. What? No? Really? Okay. Anyway, Mars is in Cancer, and it's in a cardinal sign, and it's going to connect us with our past strengths. That's what I wrote about before. I wanted to go back and redo everything that I did. Honestly, I was thinking about stopping doing Astro Cat back then. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting any traction. There's something not happening here. I'm not connecting with people on a way that's meaningful or that shows any kind of progress. So at that point there, I decided that I would go back and then start doing some of the things. And then what you'll notice is that as I started doing that, I was like, I built up a little head of steam on the podcast, and then the elections happened. And then after the elections happened, everything kind of fell down a little bit until Mars actually did go retrograde. Then when Mars went retrograde, that kind of like gave me a little bit of an impetus to really review what I was doing and then focus primarily on YouTube. And since then, it's been nothing but growth, and the channel is going up, and I have all of you to thank for that. Okay? So what's happening is this second occurrence of it is a reinforcement of that action. We're going to look at what worked since then. We're going to replicate these efforts, even verbatim, and see if it works even better this time around. The cover for this particular forecast is actually a copy of the cover that is probably one of my most popular forecasts. We're just testing it, okay? Just testing to see if that makes a difference. The moon is the same color, the same position. I had one that was slightly a different color, a different picture of the moon, and it was off to the other side of my head, and that didn't do as well. So this is a mighty incubator of creative effort, and genius. It's rooted in our process. We express it through our actions, and it will have an impact on our beliefs and the beliefs of others. Think about that. It really is. So you're really going to have a chance to go through and really reevaluate what it is that you've done. What have you done since that Mars went retrograde? What have you done since that point where it passed over? Did you come up with something? Did you come up with a plan? Have you gone through over the plan? Have you revised your processes? Because that's what we've been really talking about since Mars has been retrograde, the process. Okay, our next aspect that we have is Mercury square Uranus. This is different too. This is the square. So this is going to happen in succession again. We're going to see how quickly Mercury is moving versus the sun. Okay, so first we have Mercury square Uranus. Okay, now surprises in communications. Look, words, they spread. They can surprise you. Would a new phone be a complete disaster? Or is it just what you need? Are you locked into an operating system? You know, Android versus iOS? I don't know. Look, things to watch for would include a money surprise. We may think we're all okay with our spending. You know, maybe we're going to spend a little bit extra. Maybe we spend a little bit extra to celebrate, say, a football game. Who won? Don't know. Don't matter. All right. No predictions here. Don't even have any kind of sort of prediction for that at all. Yeah, not at all. It could be a surprise because of this, right? What day was this on? This was on the 10th. Could be very much a surprise. Don't know. Are we looking at an upset? You would think that Mercury square Uranus would definitely say that, or the Sun square Uranus would say that. Okay, we may think we're okay spending a little bit extra. This aspect says, In fact, market volatility may well be off the charts. Cryptocurrency misinformation is pervasive. It's rising too. And it's to be avoided as well. This is not investment advice. I'm just telling you right now. I'm an astrologer, not a financial advisor. It's just a friendly nudge to say, hey, look what's going on. Now, Mercury and the Sun, they're both square to Uranus. And it sounds like a radio blackout, right? Yeah, it's going to sound like that. Maybe a large solar flare or a geomagnetic event. Maybe they're going to have a light show down in the southern hemisphere because of this, right? Maybe. All right. Our next aspect is the Sun square Uranus. We already touched on this a little bit. And you can see this happens at 16:30. So this is actually at 2:30 in the afternoon. Anyway, one happened before the other. And they only happen within a couple minutes of each other, to tell you God's honest truth. It is actually 3 minutes apart. So very interesting, right? So it's not the wrong order or anything like that. They occur 3 minutes apart. So that's where we have the Sun and Mercury are that conjunct. 3 minutes later, the Sun. You can already see the Mercury is taken off a little bit. As a matter of fact, by degree, we've got the Sun at 23 degrees, Mercury's at 25 degrees, okay? So already almost 2 degrees of separation between the two when they were just conjunct just a little while ago, right? Now, unconventional action gets attention in a bad but good way. You're getting noticed, at work. It means that you're definitely a topic of conversation, okay? For good or ill. Nothing bad will really come of it. But you know what? On social media, it means you could be attracting the attention of trolls and idiots. They try to sound all righteous on you. They'll put your efforts down, and this is all part of the deal. Insults and slights don't pay your bills. Numbers talk. And besides, it's still early. Just wait for it. Mars is going to move next week. That's right. Now we're going to talk about our snow moon. Oh, there we go. There's a nice relaxing image, right? Okay, full moon occurs at 8:53 on the 12th, and that would be Wednesday. So at 8:53 in the morning, the full moon occurs. The moon in Leo is opposite the Sun in Aquarius. Now, we can also see that there's the trines with Black Moon Lilith there. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, well, it's time for a winter show. Moonlight on the snow. Oh, it's going to be beautiful, right? It just snowed around here. If you don't have snow, I'm sorry. The full moon in Leo that occurs in February is called, ironically, the snow moon. Leo, the sign of the hot summer days in summer, the 808 portal, and the appearance of Sirius in the summer sky, beginning of the flooding season on the Nile, right, in Egypt, is the place of the full moon in Aquarius. This is the moon testing the waters for Mars. Oh, we'll be reaching out publicly and performing for all who will listen to us. Our recent creativity peaks this week, all right? So anything we've been putting out, we're going to put out a lot of it this week. The vehicles we choose to convey these messages are the result of an increased understanding of the technology at our disposal. Nationally, Now, there's quite a few efforts to stop what is going on in the news. These are going to begin unprecedented growth at the grassroots level, starting with this full moon. Okay, and now, here we have Mercury entering Pisces, and I call this the risks and rewards of creative genius. Here we have Mercury entering Pisces, and you can see that I have a little diagram drawn down there. I think it's very interesting because I've seen some people talking about astrology and talking about the lines on the charts and the two lines that go across the top, which actually represent the horizon, and the ones that are up and down are the midnight point, the down part, and the high noon point of the up part. What do we have here? Well, we've got this little boat here, and the boat is actually made up of Saturn, Uranus, Mars, and the moon right now. And this boat has Mercury at the rudder. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, Saturn's at the rudder, so that's a very steady hand. We got Mercury back there trying to help out. The boat's sailing into the west, heading into the moon, right? The moon's in Virgo. That's a very steady and direct direction, okay? Look, Mercury in Pisces, we're talking about madly creative, okay? This is a place where Mercury goes to forget about things. Details, not important. Art, expression, mood, feeling. Those are the things that matter here. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you feel me here? There's a commitment to people, ideas, and vices here. There's also great inspiration and genius, right? So and the vices, they can get destructive. Don't make any mistake of that. This is a place where plenty of loss and addiction and everything, but it's also a place of poetry and fantastic inspiration. This is a perfect place for us to experiment with different mediums. The sign of Pisces is committed until it isn't. That's right. Done. Wrote you off. Inner growth must be sustained. Mercury will go retrograde in Aries and return to Pisces. Think of this period as testing the waters. Pay attention to symbols and metaphors. Words should convey images and scenes. We're in a boat on a spiritual journey that will peak when the moon is new in Virgo this year. That's an intuitive thought. Let's talk about living lunar life. This is actually one of my favorite things to do. Look, the full moon gang, those people that are born around the time of the full moon, they're going to have to be patient. Normally, they're a boisterous lot, and they like to go out and celebrate and do crazy things and end up in emergency rooms and stuff like that. We're going to test the waters. Otherwise, we're going to be we're taking a polar plunge. Okay, we're just diving into the cold water. It would seem like this moon calls for outward action, but in reality, this moon aligns better with the release of some creative output to make space for a more divinely inspired, errant, and non-linear mode of creation and creativity. Oh, that's what we're doing. Let steady action guide you. This creative period is a test. To come through, you will need to be circumspect, disciplined, and committed to personal excellence. Don't ask why. Instead, say, why not? That's what I have for you. Let's go back for a second because I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about our best days. Judging from what we saw, our best day for love, let's give it up to Friday. That's Valentine's Day. We're going to actually go with that only because we have Mercury entering into Pisces, and that's kind of a gentler, like less odd thing. It's a little bit more conventional. It'll buy into what Venus was doing when she was in that sign, but now she's in Aries, so it's a little bit dangerous, right? Hey, a little bit of danger. Yeah, maybe not. Who knows? You might be totally infatuated with it. Our best day for health is going to be probably Sunday. It should be Sunday. It should have been Saturday, actually, and then it carried over into Sunday. You probably blew that, so just try to catch up during the week with it, right? And our best day for creativity is definitely Friday. That love and creativity, they seem to go together, and they're really going to go together today. So let's go with that, okay? Now, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Make sure you show me some love. Hit the button, get the notifications. Podcast is at YouTube. Also, anywhere you get your podcasts. Make sure you hit the bell and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice week. Happy Astro Catting. Love you all.